Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry about the delay. Went out for dinner with the gaffer, and we only got back literally half an hour ago. I was meant to do the podcast at 9 o'clock, so I've done enough for content over the last 2 days to keep you all ticked over. But yes, the famous yellow jersey's back on for transfer deadline day, and it looks like we are closing in on Luke Mccowan. Luke Mccowan, the Dundee skipper. Now, I understand a lot of people don't want Luke Mccowan, and a lot of us do want Luke Mccowan, but it's all opinions, isn't it? It's all opinions. So, everyone that's tuning in on Facebook and YouTube, do subscribe. It's free of charge. I'm also going to talk about. I have launched the membership in the past, but I've actually fixed the price on the membership. It's 99 pence. So if you want to be a member for a month, 99 pence. It just means that I'll pick your comments out quicker than other folk, and no disrespect to other folk. I will always pick out everyone's comments unless it's spam, unless it's complete utter spam. So I know there's a lot of YouTubers starting to do this membership stuff for £5 and £6 a pop. Not me. I will never ever go to a level of charging someone £6. I'll never do it exclusive streams just for members only. It's never going to be like that. I always keep everything public. Everyone should be treated the same. You know, use keep this channel going. Use watch it on a regular basis. Use comment on a regular basis. Use give thumbs up. Use get people to subscribe as well and tell mates and stuff. So we're gonna kick it off, folks. We're gonna kick it off. How we all feeling about the transfer window now? Still feeling a bit disappointed. Still feeling a bit overwhelmed. How we feeling? How we feeling? So we're gonna see what the sauce is, what's going on. As I said, I was out having a bit of dinner. I got a bit of sketty bolognese tonight, a few chips, got myself a few cans of Guinness on the way home. So yeah, I'll be on for the next hour. I was meant to be on for 2 hours, but the last couple of days I've been doing so many videos, it's very hard to keep up with it, honestly. So this is what the crack is, folks. 14 minutes ago, Celtic are closing in on deadline day deal for Dundee captain Luke Mccowan. So the situation with Luke Mccowan, Hibs went in with an improved bid tonight of 800. What's this about? Pretty good. Well, it's gone to Napoli. Did Scott McTominay go there as well? There's Austin Trusty talking about his move to Celtic. You know, said he knew a lot about Celtic when he was growing up in Philadelphia. As you know, Engels has arrived at Celtic Park 18 minutes ago, folks. So we will see him in the green and white hoops. Green and white hoops. So let's see the comments. Tour kit arrived today. F and Belter. I'm gonna wait for a couple. I'm gonna wait until after me waiting the boy, you know. I've just focused on the weekend and going out and have a bit of a boogie and a shindig for the old derby. So yeah, 73 people tune in. All I'm asking is, folks, just comment below where you tune in. Coatbridge, Belfast, Perth in Australia, or Perth if you want to say, Toronto, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Fiji. Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments. It'd be great to see what's going on. Who has officially signed, mate? So who's officially signed? Austin Trusty. Austin Trusty 316 officially signed. He signed a couple of hours ago. He's done an interview on Celtic TV. Annie Engels has arrived at Paradise to complete his 11 million deal before 11 o'clock. Medical was done earlier on in London, so he'd be in Paradise. The shorts. Mrs. only lives up around the corner from there. Looking forward to Sunday. Celtic full time. Oh, look at this. What the odds? I'm not even thinking about Sunday just yet. As I said, I know I'm leash. Up the leash. How's it going up in North Scotland and Bucky Arla? Hope you're well up there, Gary B. As I said, folks, the main purpose of tonight is trying to tell you what's going on, give you my perspective, your perspective, and try to get more subscribers and maybe another 1 or 2 members. So shout out to Feed the Bear for buying the 99p membership. I'm at to put new membership badges up there as well. They're very similar to each other. I just dusting around earlier on and walk, and I looked at how to create emojis and badges and stuff. So I said, I started getting up at the time. So yeah, would you want Luke McCowan? That's what I want to know. How do you feel about Luke McCowan? We're going to dig into his stats. I'm looking at it as a perspective of he knows the league. He scores in the league. Good free kick taker, good penalty taker. Bit of leadership there. He's fast on the ball as well. I think he can bring something different. I know I've thrown this comparison so many times. He can either come into Celtic and be a Scott Allen, absolute flop, or he can come in and be a Barry Robson. Bought domestically, hit the ground running, decent job for 2 years or whatever, and see what happens. I paid him 1.1 million that Dundee are looking for from him. Think about the football he played last season. He's actually on 4 this season as well. We're going to go into his stats. Good old transfer market. I know a few people have seen these stats already, but we'll talk about it. So, could you explain the lad from Burnley and the other one plays? I didn't see anything about a guy from Burnley. I seen a guy from West Ham. Andrew Irvine. Andrew Irvine he started his youth career at Hearts, played at Berwick Rangers, went then West Ham, signed him in 2019, I think 1.7 million, and then he sent him on loan to a team in Turkey, links to Bayern Munich or something like that, or Turkish Munich or something like that they're called, and then he played in the Austria Bundesliga, but accordingly he's meant to have a decent pass conversion, but he's only played one game for West Ham, one competitive game, 24 years of age, 5'10", never been capped for Scotland as well. I think it's a strange one. I haven't heard any more about it since earlier on. It was about 5 o'clock that Celtic put a loan inquiry in. The reason why Celtic are trying to get these Scottish boys in, it's for the UEFA paperwork, for the registration, That's the reason why the likes of Scott Bain's still on the books. There you go, Ollie's on it like a car bonnet. If we want or not, we need Luke McCowan with the fit. I think Luke McCowan would be a decent player for us. Honestly, I honestly think I'm for this. I've been for this for the last 3 weeks on the channel, and I've had people literally call him shy, not worth 500k. I've heard some terrible things about the boy, and at the end of the day, his stats speak up. He's worth 1 million. Simple as that. I hope he's enjoyed the video I put up last night as well in my house coat. I just said it as it is. There's folk on this that are very passionate, and you come across a lot of podcasts, and it's like they're doing the copy and paste job. Just understand you're frustrated with the board, as I said last night, but our opinions won't change the board. Once the board are bringing money in and we're successful domestically, nothing's going to change, folks. Nothing's going to change. I know we want to move to another level with Champions League. I completely understand that as well. How he's feeling about the Champions League draw as well, getting in the comments. Do you think we could win all our games at home? You don't take teams like that, Club Brugge, for granted. We took Anderlecht for granted back in 2017. Red Bull at home as well. Young Boys at home, Slavian Bratislava. Decent teams, folks. You may not feel like they're the Real Madrids and the Man Cities, but these teams are all out for blood. They're out to make a statement. They're the same as us. They want to make a statement. Home and away. So I'm still annoyed. I was annoyed at the time he got rid of him. I thought he was a really good player. And that's why I put that comparison of Barry Robson, because Barry Robson was the free kick specialist. Didn't he score against Aberdeen when he came off the bench in his debut? I remember. Just to double check that. United Rangers, Keith. How's things? I hope as well. Things are good. I have a glass of stout here. So let's go through, see what Anthony Joseph is saying. I'm going to look at Jota as well, complete his move to Rennes tonight. 8 million euros, which is about 6.7. Billy Gilmore has completed his move to Napoli. And this is the man that's going to be the talk for the next hour. Can we get a deal over the line for Luke McCowan? Can we get a deal? Give me in the comments, would you like Luke McCowan at Celtic? Yes or no? I don't need a big spiel about why you don't like him or you do like him. We'll get into that deeper comments soon. What's the story with the West Ham lad? It was just a report earlier on. We acquired a bit of loan mail for Irvin. I think he played over 40 games for Hearts in his career, and then he got the move. How's it going, Alonso? How's it going, Alonso Rotti? Hope is well. Hope is well. See, can we move this a little bit? So, trying to. There we go. There's the big screen there. This is what we're looking at on Twitter. Telling me to follow certain folk there. Isn't good enough for Celtic. Please elaborate why he isn't good enough for Celtic. Tell me why. Because he's playing for Dundee? Is that why? Well, I'd like to know in the comments. I'm not going to argue with people for their opinion. At the end of the day, we're all entitled to our opinion. This is why the podcast is here. It's always good to have objection. So this is what we're going to be looking at. I'm going to get rid of that and bring this bad boy on. Get rid of that one as well. As I said, don't be afraid to throw the question. That's you, Brian. Yeah, he's arrived at Celtic Park. He's at Celtic Park. So we should hopefully in the next few minutes probably get an interview. I don't know what his English is like, folks. To be honest, I didn't watch any interviews with him speaking English. Trusty's in the door. Trusty got number 6. Near Beaton's former number. You know. So Wedgie's saying, the topic talker, he's played some better football than some of the deadwood we've just got out the door. 100%. Did he get in the play? Did he get in the team of the year last year? Now, did he get in the team of the year? Was he nominated for team of the year, wasn't he? You know, 100%. I'm for this MILF. I'm completely for this MILF. And if we don't get him in this transfer window, I'll be up for this moving. Yous are all moaning over the last couple of months about, how about getting Scottish players in? Probably get one of the best talent players in the league. And people are like, nah, not good enough. Nah, he's not Celtic quality. He's not good enough. Nah. £1 million, take a risk. Nah, not good enough. You know? Tomoki is down in Birmingham. He's down in Birmingham and he's meant to be completing his loan move. Nothing about Naroski. I haven't seen nothing about Naroski. I know they put him on the transfer. Well, put him on the list. Let me see. I'm going to have a look now. Nah, nothing at all about Naroski. Just a few Polish stuff. And that's a guy called Joseph Naroski. Just tweeting every 2 seconds. Who cares, mate? Seriously. Let's see. I'll just put his first name in. Let's see. Nah. Nothing at all. Tomoki Iwata. Tomoki. And I hope it works. Tomoki Iwata will be joining a League One team. Birmingham were relegated, I think, last year. Yeah, so this was 1 hour ago, right? It says update. Celtic midfielder Tomoki, not Tony. Tony, we call him Tony if you want. Tony Iwata. What's up, Tony Iwata? What's the crack? Tomoki Iwata has arrived in the West Midlands for his medical with Birmingham City. Still needs to be worked out to finalise the deal. Well, they have until 11 o'clock tonight. And I hope Iwata goes down there, takes it by storm as well. There we go. Let's see. See, can I pull some up on the X? Great app. And the big Belgium midfielder. They got replacement in anyway. They got someone in from Brentford for a season-long move. Allsberg did. So they had plans anyway. Look, they should be delighted with the money anyway. 24 minutes ago. See if we can find anything here on. Right, here we go. Just to make people feel a bit more like this is actually happening, right? Now this is from 1 hour ago, right? This is me see. This is from 1 hour ago. This is Arnie Engels in Glasgow International, coming out of Glasgow International. See if we get a better picture there. Yup, boys said. There he is. There he is walking out. Now, some folk might try and say, that could be anyone. Who was that kid? That could be anyone. You know, but there he is there again. There he is there. Earlier on today, doing his medical. Who cares about Clermont? There he is in action. So, yep. There we go, folks. We're going to go back to Luke Mccowan anyway. We're going to talk about Luke McCowan's stats because there's a lot of doubters in here and there's a lot of people that don't think he can cut the sauce of Celtic. So I'm going to pull his stats and I'm going to argue towards this. Okay. See, there's 145 people tuning in. He's in Celtic Park. He's in Celtic Park. Anthony Joseph confirmed it 20 minutes ago. But I just wanted to show his pictures of him doing medical, going to medical in London, then arriving in Glasgow, that kind of stuff. I don't have actual pictures of him getting out of the van yet because if I pull up pictures of him getting in the van and it's on the Celtic page, I can get done for copyright. Simple as that. Be careful what you pull up, you know. So I hope people are not talking about the derby already. Come on, folks. Let's just get this transfer window done and dusted over the next half an hour, you know. I think we've strengthened the goalkeeping department from last season, yeah. You got to think about these two players that we had on loan last season. They were on loan. We got them in for just around under 12 million for Bernardo and Ida. And yes, we've lost Matt O'Reilly. And Matt O'Reilly be on the treatment table for a couple of months probably. And I wish him the best wishes of recovery at Brighton. I've been in touch with a lot of Brighton fans over the last couple of days. Nice guys. And I just said to them out straight, I said, look, he's have a gem in his hands when he gets fit. You don't realise how good he is. So let's go on to Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan, all his stats for Dundee. Just Dundee, just to give people a perspective if this deal goes through today. Right. Bit of a versatile player, and that's what we need. We need someone that can play in loads of positions. Consider to what Scott Brown was. When Scott Brown came into Celtic, before he came to Celtic, he was playing on the wing for Hibs, playing attacking, playing up front for them at one point, you know, keeping Gary O'Connor and Derek Royden out of the team. But let's see. But that's what we need. We need players like that. I'm not even giving predictions yet for Sunday. It's going to be a win. I'm going to talk about the game Sunday tomorrow. I'm doing a podcast tomorrow night. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but Sunday's too far away from me. I'm going to think about Sunday tomorrow night on the channel. So this is, get this stupid thing away. This is Luke McCowan's stats, right? For Dundee alone, he's played 125 times, 28 goals, 19 assists, right? Look over here on the right-hand side. Left wing, 19 times. Right wing, 15 times. Left mid, 13 times. So there you go. He's a guy that plays in all positions, mostly in that middle of that park. So there's his stats there. 125 games, 28 goals, 19 assists. It's not bad. It's not bad for a player. He's doing well this season. As far as I know, he's 3 goals this season, 6 assists. Now, that's obviously the Premier Sports Cup is counted into that as well because they started earlier. But he's a goal I want. Deal accepted for Luke. Let me see. Let me say. Nothing just yet coming up here just yet. Wait. I'll just see now in a second. Just let me have a look. He's on his way to Celtic Park anyway. So 28 minutes ago, BBC Scotland, excuse me, Celtic reach verbal agreement for Luke McCowan. So hopefully we can get this over and done and dusted. I want him in, and for topic talker to the fans that don't want him in, just give the chance to give the guy a chance, for God's sake. You know, I'm sorry he's not Zinedine Zidane or he's He's not the level that you want, but yeah, BBC reported it. 1 million. Well worth it. Well worth it. What makes McCowan so much better than Turnbull? Well, Turnbull obviously played well for him. Well, it's just Turnbull wasn't consistent. Couldn't keep a string of games. Look at McCowan last season, was unbelievable. Didn't miss much games. He alone helped Dundee get into sixth place the way he played. He had decent players up front as well, but look at Turnbull. Turnbull's old news. Who cares about Turnbull? There's no point comparing saying, oh, Turnbull was gone because Brendan didn't want him. He wanted to go off and do his own thing in Cardiff, and I wish David Turnbull the best. You know, the only thing I didn't like about David Turnbull was majority of the Celtic players would say it all when I was waiting around that cold night, like Stan and Eminem went outside in the freezing cold, and David Turnbull hat down, bang, walked straight through him. You know, yeah. Sky Sports says Luke McCowan will be joining Celtic. Happy days. So bring it on. I'm delighted with that. I wasn't a big fan of the whole West Ham loan deal. But here we go. This is one of the members. I think one of the reasons we've strengthened the squad is I think we brought in players that are comfortable on multiple positions. Sky Sports reporting fine accepted offer from Celtic. Why would you want a player to be a flop at Celtic? Why would you want the player to be a flop at Celtic? You want success. This is why you support the club. You want success for everyone. If he scores in a derby, scores in a high last minute goal, are you still going to label him? I want him to be a flop. Like, come on, back your team, back the squad of players. As I said, the stats there enough shows that he can be a good enough player. Go on to YouTube. Yeah, it'll be best bits, but some of the goals are crackers. He's a versatile player. Centre mid, attacking mid, right wing, left wing, defensive midfielder. That's what you want. You know, he's a fighter. Exactly. You want someone to put short on, as I said. Well, I'm sorry, topic, but I'm not trying to sound like an absolute foot, but it's not what you want. It's not what I want. It's what Brendan wants. And he's getting what he wants. You know, he's getting what he wants. You know? So he comes in the door. Don't start doubting him from day one. Don't start having hip fits when he comes off the bench. Like, back the player. He's doing something that a lot of fans would never get to have a chance to put that shirt on and play on that pitch for Celtic. I don't know if he even is a Celtic fan or not, but to play for Celtic is just a massive achievement in his career, probably his biggest achievement ever. So, you know, you're telling me Brendan wanted McCowan, no chance he's got because we couldn't get Sanchez. I'd rather, to be honest with you, I'm not trying to say this because it's a last minute job. If you were asking me the other day, Alvin Sanchez from the Swiss League, who's 21, yes, promising, 5 years younger than Luke McCowan. I'd rather Luke McCowan, someone in the league that's actually can cut it. What if Alvin Sanchez was a flop? You don't know that, like, you don't know that, you know. So, anyways, bids accepted. He's at Celtic Park. Verbal chats agreement done and dusted. 1 million bids. Welcome the guy in. Yeah, he wasn't good enough. There is players that flop. There's no. When we were playing against Willow Flood in the League Cup semi-final at Hampden, that rainy night on the Wednesday, I remember when Borg scored, and I said it back then as a young 19-year-old. I said, no, he is not good enough for Celtic. He's too scrawny. Doesn't have that built physique to do a job. And I knew it. I just knew it. Like, I fair enough, he scored a couple of goals in pre-season down at Wembley, whatever it was. But he just wasn't never good enough. Never good enough. And it's the same with Scott Allen. Like, I was excited with Scott Allen coming in at one point. I was like, yeah, I think he can do a job. He looks decent at hips. But McCowan's a different level. And why McCowan's a different level is captain, free kick taker, penalty taker, fighter. A fighter. That's what you want. That's what you want. Why are we selling the Japanese guy to Birmingham? We're not. We're just letting him go on loan. He's gone on loan for the season. So that's the crack with him. Yeah. That's it. That's it. And I'm not putting this big paper cut out with me, with Luke Mccowan saying blah blah this, because he's done your right at Celtic Park. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, John. He's in the doors. He's probably doing an interview. The paperwork's done. The medical's done. It will be announced soon. It will be announced. Don't you worry. You know. But Luke Mccowan is not Scott Allen. You can't just judge everyone that we buy from the league as a flop. You know, some players come in and destroy. Some players will flop. I think he'll be decent enough. And that's it. That's it. He's not better than McCowan. No. I love Tomoki, but no. Tomoki is not better than McCowan. Tomoki can only play centre back and defensive midfield. McCowan can play in a lot of positions, attacking positions as well. Right. Exactly right. We're going to move on from this negativity about man. And look at the end of the day, welcome them in. Welcome any player that comes in. You know, we've done a bit of clearouts as well in the summer. Sadly, Matt moved on. We got decent money for Matt. Haksabanovic moved on. Joe Hart retired. Benjamin Seacrest moved on to Rapid Bucharest. Daniel Kelly moved to Millwall. Rockavata moved to Watford. Bosun Lahal, who I met in the airport last week. Nice guy. He had his Celtic suitcase and all, even though he was going to the Midlands, I think, or Liverpool, somewhere like that. Obviously, the closest to Stoke, whatever it is. I wasn't going to go down and start looking at what gate he was. I just met him in the WH Smith. Made me sat at the top. I was like, Bosun, any chance of a picture? Yeah, Bosun. Your brother lives next door to my ex-missus. He always talking about you because he sees me in the Celtic gear. But so Bosun went for 2 million, which adding up to 3 million add-ons. I think all altogether was 3.7. It's going to work out. And you know what? Players come and go. Simple as. And we've cleared out players. You know, Kwan's gone on loan to Hibs. Lagerbielka's gone on loan to FC20. And think about the players we brought in. Yes, we got a player on loan. The loan card was going to be used in this window anyway. We all knew that. And Alex Vaya, look, I wish him the best in the Celtic shirt for the season. You know, he's a lot of Barcelona fans are hyping this guy up to be a big player for them when he gets a bit of experience in Champions League football and playing for us. You know how he tends. Look, I wish him the best. We wish any player the best. Who doesn't wish players the best that come in the door? Come on. Understand. Your bars high and your standards are high. But come on. For God's sake. They're the professional footballer. You're the fan. You know, and that's not me talking down to you. That's me just putting state facts to you. They're the one that's doing the job. You're just a fan. You know. John Brown from Dundee. I don't even know who John Brown is, to be honest with you. You know. So we have 20 minutes left in the transfer window. Let's have a little look on X, right? We made around, and Mikey Johnson as well, folks. I forgot about Mikey Johnson. Wish Mikey the best down in West Brom. 3 million we received today from Mikey Johnson, you know. Yeah. That's my prediction, guys. Although I didn't want to tell too many people that, but I think he has leaderships in there, you know. At the end of the day, he's come to a massive club. He's leaving Dundee. He's helped Dundee get promoted and helped Dundee finish top 6. And I have a couple of friends that are Dundee fans, and they posted a lot about him. And I see a lot of Celtic fans posting about him as well, you know. But it's good that we got Arne Engels as well. 11 million price tag on him. He could be a flop topic. He could be a flop. You know, not every player we get is going to be top class players or the quality that we're looking for. We can build them to that quality. You know, they're coming into a high stake club, demand of winning. demand of success. You draw a game, it feels like it's a loss. You lose a derby, you got to go hiding for 3 months. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Honestly, I mean, I've a good feeling about this season on all fronts. You know, last week I had a different opinion about the Champions League, but I think, you know, getting players in, like, there's doubters out there about Trusty, and Trusty can come in, and all he can do is prove these people wrong by playing games, helping CCV or Liam Scales and Taylor and Johnston. Look at Johnston. Johnston came from the MLS, from Montreal. He's wearing him and the horn about him because he was playing the World Cup at the time, you know. But he came in and he's been a grafter. So I think the whole negativity stuff, just forget about it. Forget about it. Let's back these lads. Yeah. Right. That's it. I know. Well, as I said, I'm all in for it, but all in for it. I didn't get a ticket for Sunday. Still looking. So if someone can get me a ticket for Sunday, I'll pay whatever face value, and on top of that, I'll give them this Celtic ring light if they get me a ticket for Sunday. So I'm looking for a ticket for Sunday. I don't care what stand where I sit. I just want to be there Sunday. I haven't been to a Glasgow derby since 2008. Well, the old Glasgow derby when it was called an Old Firm. So I'll give you that as well if you get me a ticket on Sunday. And I know people are saying, "Oh, you can't bring it to Celtic Park." I'm sure you can put it into a pub, put in the bag, and leave in the pub and get it after the game, or put in someone's boot car or on a supporters bus, whatever. You know, there's always ways around these things, folks. You know, yeah, it is. There is a gap there, but professional footballers get moves and they get better. So I'm just gonna keep picking up from him. There's nothing negative here to say about him. He's 26 years of age. He's after playing phenomenal football last season. He's playing decent this season, you know, and it won't be a matter of time he'll be in that Scotland team. That's a hard midfield to get into, but he'll be in that Scotland team, you know. Oh, big time, massive loss, but they'll get players in. Some people might tip Dundee to be relegated now because they lost Mccowan, you know. Yeah. AJ is different gravy AJ is coming from a different league. Yeah, you didn't know AJ was different gravy until you start putting Celtic shirt on, play his debut at Ibrox and start getting better and better. Same with Luke. Luke has done well in this league, you know. You know, I think a lot of people are on it. I'm glad there's positivity in here, folks, tonight. Good. 174 people tuning in. As I said, Mikey Johnson went today for 3 million. Austin Trusty's in the door. Annie Engels is in the door. Luke McCowan is agreed deal over £1 million. Hibs. Who would want to go to Hibs? Honestly, who would want to go to Hibs? They can't even put 5,000 fans in that stadium most of their home games. Like, I know a couple of folks that are Hibs fans that actually watch the podcast, but you know how I feel about Hibs. Are we getting Luke? Yes, we are. I'll show you now. Bud. As I said, if anyone wants to contribute and buy the membership, be a monthly member for 99 pence, you just go onto the YouTube channel, click onto the homepage, and it says join on members, and then there's the badges and stuff there. So there you go. Celtic reach verbal agreement. Sky Sports have also confirmed as well. I think that's Napoli are going to do well with Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore. Billy Gilmore's a decent player, like decent player. I wait for someone to turn around and say, he's a Rangers fan, he's a Rangers boy. Who cares? He's playing for Napoli now. Doesn't matter. You know? Sky Sports, sorry. Let's have a look. There you go, folks. 20 minutes ago. Breaking. Dundee have accepted a bid from Celtic for captain Luke McCowan. And reportedly is meant to be 1 million. So we're on it like a car bonnet tonight. You know? What was the point of this? I just don't like them. Look up 1954. Yeah, they helped us set up Celtic by 10 players. Tried to ban the tricolour up in Celtic Park. The chairman did when he's running the SFA back in the 50s. Just don't like them as a club. Simple as. Yeah, we've got decent players up in the past, but just don't like them as a club. You know? You are disappointed with the club. You know, they raised the bar to try to finish top 3 and nowhere near that. That's it. I don't know. That's a big shout, Rab. But you know what? Hold you to it. You know? Yeah. That's it. Look it up. I just don't like them as a club. Simple as. And we're all entitled to our opinion. I don't hate them. I just don't like them. Simple as. I said the only time I've ever backed Hibs was in the 2016 Scottish Cup final. I was delighted for them that day. I was delighted for Stubbsy. I was delighted for McGeoch. I was delighted for Stokesy scoring 2. I was delighted for Henderson. You know, is he a long-term replacement for Carl Mack? It's a hard one to say. I think, well, you're putting a price tag on like Arne Engels. That's 11 million. That can play. Who's in attacking mid, defensive mid. You know, you should be asking him. He should be the replacement. He's 6 years younger than Luke Mccowan. So it's a tough one to answer that, to be honest with you, Nicholas. Give a man a break. That's it. Grafter. Hopefully he'll be ready for Sunday. Well, obviously it's domestic football, so it should be no bother. Brendan was asked earlier on about players in contention for Sunday. He said if we'll do an assessment on them as every player comes in the door, and if they're up to them standards, well, they could be in contention for Sunday. So Cameron Carter-Vickers wasn't at training today. Nothing to worry about. He had a light training session, day off, simple as whatever. So Carter-Vickers is going to be playing on Sunday, you know. Might as well keep Christie. We made a few bob Christie. So 11 p.m. for 11 million player signing record. As I said, this time last week, a lot of people were like, oh, we're not going to break the bank. Broke the bank. As I said, if you want me to rate this transfer window of a scale 1 to 10, I'll probably go a 7. The reason why I'm saying a 7 is because I felt like we could have got a permanent left back. I felt like we could have got another striker. I know Maeda is a third choice striker, but I felt like we could have. And the reason why I'm saying 7 is because the likes of Ida was very slow. The likes of Bernardo was very slow. Yes, we hustled to get Bernardo in the door. Fair enough. We got, some people might say we got robbed blind for Ida, but we back Ida to be a success. No? Thank you very much. 99p, folks, if you want to be a member, you know, if you want to support me in an extra level, be really appreciated. But I'm really happy with having regular subscribers. Out of 10, how would you rate the transfer so far? Out of the whole thing, about 7 out of 10, to be honest with you. As I said, I just think the slow negotiations of getting Ida in. We could have had Morosky. I would have loved it if we got Morosky. Would have rather Ida number 1, but at the stage I was in video, I was like, oh, just forget about Ida. Let's go for Morosky. He's only up the road, you know. But how much have we spent? Good question. We spent average, I think it was around 42 million. If you want to add all the add-ons and included and stuff like that, it's around 42 to 43 million we've spent in this. Not in spent, sorry. Sold. So let me think. Sold. Got confused there for a second. I'll tell you now exactly how much we've spent. Right. Hello. Yes, you can hear the mouse in the background if anyone's moaning. I'm gonna add Adamidas add-on as well into this. I know that it's 8.5 with the 1 million add-on. And then the 1.3 wages for Alex Faye as well. Then the 11 million for Arne Engels. And then if it's 1 million on Luke Mccowan, we're looking at exactly, as I said, I'm putting the add-on on this as well. Adamita's add-on to this. 33.3 million we have spent in this window. And listen to this. We are up. We are up now. I'm not including Abada's fee, folks, or Yakamaka's fee. I'm not including them two fees, okay, over the last 6 months, blah, blah, whatever. I'm including what we've done this summer in business. We are up 10 million. 10 million in transfers, players coming and going because of Matt O'Reilly transfer, we're up. So there you go. I know, typical, isn't it? Typical Andy. So we've spent just over 33 million and we've sold over 43 million. There you go. There's your answer. If someone wants to correct me on that, you're more welcome to. I'm not going to try and say, challenge me. Yeah. So there you go. We're up 10 million. On top of that, right? On top of that, we could have made more money. We could have been up 60 million if Frimpong went in this window. I don't know if we received any money for Jota going to Rennes. That was an 8 million deal, which was 6.7 million pounds. But yeah. Right. Sky Sports very slow. Let me see, Brain. Let's have a look, bud. So there's 8 minutes left in the transfer window, folks. I just want to say a massive thank you to the new members, the 2 new members tonight. If we can get a treble tonight, we'll be unbelievable. Who's going to step up to the plate? As I said, I don't want to feel like I'm begging for money, but I like to see when I'm going onto that YouTube channel and I see these members and I see all these names and heads. It's great. It's brilliant. It's brilliant to see that I'm building a community that really want to support me in an extra level, Ronnie, thank you very much. Feed the Bear was one of our first ever members. And Feed the Bear was one of the first ever people to watch my podcast as well, Didn't hear anything about Frimpong going to Barcelona. Nothing at all. He was linked with Barcelona. It's done deal since last night. I'm not worried about it. Don't be stressing. Medical's done, paperwork's done. He was waiting. They're all ready. That's it. Who's that guy? Oh, look at Dundee got a guy on a season-long move. So Dundee were putting plans in place because he knew Mccowan was leaving. So go damn. Bit of a plan in place there. Thank you very much, Shane O'Toole. He makes it the treble tonight. Up, yeah, good thing, yeah. Up the Shano. Up the Dougie. 99p, folks. Get on it like a car bonnet. Get on. I'm wearing that yellow jersey tonight. Just want to show you something. Here. 2 seconds. Squeaky floors. Squeaky bone time on Sunday. Talk about this bad boy out as well. Chat. An absolute chat. But yeah. So good times. As I said, on the channel, if anyone knows any sources for Sunday for a ticket, I'm happy to meet the person, pay face value, and I'll also give them this. Honestly, all my 2 kids, he's gonna have that. If I don't get a ticket for Sunday, I'm gonna give this away on 20k. I'm gonna pick someone random out. And by the way, folks, if any of you have Instagram, on the Command the Hoops Celtic Instagram channel, I've done a collaboration with Signed F Shorts. Signed F Shorts. We're giving away a signed Mikael Lustig jersey, the 2012-13 jersey with Mikael Lustig signature on the back of it. So it's a free entry. I'm just gonna pick a random name and go for it. I don't do that spin malarkey. I just pick a name. Simple as. No one in common, whatever, just pick a name and that's it. You know, that's how it works. Thanks very much again. Really appreciate it. It's on the Twitter. Right, let's go. Let's have a look now. 5 minutes ago, feels like the bells are ringing out, folks. The bells are ringing out. Here we go. Put folk at ease. Right. Share screen. Yeah, PC Lustig. It's just a free entry. It's basically these companies will get in touch with me and say, "Oh, can we do a share out deal?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. What's involved? This is what I give you." I mean, it's they're building an audience. They're getting, and if you buy off signed F shorts, you get an extra 10% as well. You just put in Commander Hoops, the discount codes all together, and you get 10% off as well. So happy days. So here we go. There you go, folks. On the Celtic X page, we are delighted to confirm the sign of the highly rated Belgian midfielder Arnie Engels on a 4-year deal, subject to international clearance. Welcome to Celtic, Arnie. Arnie the Belgian Terminator. That's what I'm going to be calling him. Arnie the Belgian Terminator. I don't know what's going on with Tomoki Iwata. I don't know if he's completed his move yet to Birmingham City. We're going to chase it up in the next couple of minutes. Let me have a sup of Guinness, folks. Jesus Christ. Hasn't stopped. 163 people on tonight. 163. Has the subscribers gone up? Let's have a look. You're probably thinking, oh, he's all about subscribers, all this. Keep him motivated. Get in, you boy, are you? Let's see. We're up to 5 subscribers. Happy days. Happy bleeding days. The Terminator is in the gaff. How's it going? There we are. There we land. Time for deadline day. That's it. I'm going to put a prediction on Arnie Engels. And I hope people record this and send this back to me at the end of May. Arnie Engels will finish on 15 goals for Celtic this season. Luke Mccowan, 12 goals. 12 goals. Luke Mccowan will be a success at Celtic. I know there's a 10% of doubters out there in the chat moaning, not happy with the board because we got a guy in the league that's actually pretty decent. Not happy with the board. But that's what it is. No, did it not be confirmed? Did Sky Sports not confirm it that he's gone? I thought I couldn't confirmed it. I thought I seen it there. 2 seconds. I know this is nothing to do with us, but let me see. Here we go. Here's another update in regards to Luke Mccowan as well from Sky Sports. I know they're a bit slow compared to other outlets tonight because they're literally non-stop. But you have to give Anthony Joseph the praise. He's done really well over the last couple of weeks. The transfer. I know he has good source and stuff like that. But yeah. Which camera am I on? Am I on the right camera? I am on the right camera. Gilmore was confirmed. Yeah, you did see me in Paisley tonight. You did indeed. Wearing my Fergus McCann hat. I was out that neck of the woods having dinner tonight, yeah. You did indeed, Derek. How's McCowan going to sign to with 2 minutes left? Because I'm sure the paperwork's going to be done and dusted. I forgot. Yeah, we're going to talk about the derby tomorrow, folks. I'm not even thinking about Sunday just yet. All I'm asked, I now sound like a bit of a spoiled child. For Sunday, I'm trying to get a ticket. If someone gets me a ticket to the game, message the page, message me on social media. You can get me a ticket, 1 ticket for the game. I will pay face value. I'll also give you this fantastic LED Celtic light. It's about that size, as you see there. About that size. Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, it's like kind of one of them laptop, you know, them kind of laptop plug chargers as well. So yeah. 11 p.m. Happy 11 p.m., folks. That's it. Well, I just want to recap. We've spent 33 million. Now, that's all in with add-ons and all that crap, right? We spent 33 million. 33.3 million. I feel like playing on doing that Irish Lotto. And we've sold just over 42 million. Around 42 to 43 million. You know? So, yep. Doing all right. We're up plus 10 million. We're out touching Champions League money and stuff like that. And Celtic, are still to announce their stock exchange forecast, their revenue and stuff for the last 12 months as well. You know? So we'll see. 171 people tuning in. Let's have a look. There's 160 on YouTube. So if this is your first time tuning into my channel, daily content, 90% of the time, I'm on it. Sometimes I'm like a day off. If it's slow, I might put up something different. But I want to give a massive happy birthday to Lisbon Lion, Bobby Lennox. Bobby Lennox celebrates his birthday today. I don't know if he's been on the community page on my YouTube. I went out to Saltcoats last year, just for just an evening. Me and the gaffer went out. We had a good time. We went down to the Elms bar. She beat me a pill because I'm absolutely dirt at it. And yeah, so I'm going to show you this now. Let's whack this up. Who cares what they've spent? Who cares what they spent? I call them the broke club. Angie's gonna pump them anyway with Spurs. So there's me in Saltcoats last year. Look at the happy camper. Look at me. Now I was told the bar behind it is actually not a bad bar. Why am I going to the Elm bar? Yeah, into getting the Wetherspoons and all we did out there. But walked down to the beach as well. It was a decent evening, I have to say. You know, decent. You know, it's good to see these Scottish towns. So Bobby Lennox was the furthest Lisbon Lion to play for the club. He was out in Saltcoats. The majority it was a 30-mile radius or 30-kilometer radius. You can correct me in the comments of our team, of our beautiful team that went on to win the Glasgow Cup, the Scottish League Cup, the Stefanov Trophy, the League, the Scottish Cup, and Big Ears itself. On the 25th of May, 1967. Is it? Have we reduced the squad? Yeah, it's been reduced the squad. I think we're down about 2 or 3 players. You know, I don't know if Kelly, Lahal, and Vate consider as senior squad, even though they were in and out of this team. Because they were still playing for the B team at times. Bosun Lahal, he was at Fleetwood last year and he had an absolute stormer. But yeah, I think he counts. You know, I met him as well last week. Sound. Happy birthday, Bobby. Happy birthday. Good stuff. One of our members there as well. Kevin Dunn, how are you getting on? Hope you're well. Hope as well. Thank you very much for the membership as well. Look at the bottom of my heart, folks. Thanks very much for all the new members. As I said, it's 99p. There's a new Come on the Hoops kind of emoji thing I'm at to put up as well. So thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. He's done it for years. So please no London exchange statement. Yeah, it's going to come out. It's meant to come out around the middle of September. So we'll see what happens with regards to that as well. So players that we brought in this window, just to recap, you know, it is quite late. Sinsalo, Kasper Schmeichel in goals. We brought Alex Vey in from Barcelona this week. 1.3 million. It's going to cost him wages for the long deal. Sinsalo was 1 million. Kasper Schmeichel was a free. People were moaning when we were linked with Kasper Schmeichel. Oh, he's almost 38. Oh, he's going to retire in a Zimmer frame. Blah, 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 blah. And what has he done so far? Clean sheet in the league. He's still moaning now, are you? Honestly, can't keep people bleeding happy these days. So I'm enjoying my having Kasper. I'm enjoying that we have a guy like him. And I think we'll love him as much as we love Joe Hart, to be honest. It was a 1-year deal with an option to extend for another year. And you know what? I'm delighted as well. Arne Engels was called up to the Belgian team today. He's been called up a couple of times, but he's never featured for them. So delighted for him. Absolutely delighted, you know? Delighted. Yeah. How he's all enjoying the stream. Give us a rating out of 10. 1 to 10 there. Give us a rating. We'll drink some Guinea. Who are we talking about now? Who's that? As I said, Austin Trusty was bought in for 6 million. We did hustle. I ended up actually getting it for what? An extra million more. But look, we had the money in the bank anyway. 100%. 100%. He had better fee. Yeah. And look at the goal he conceded against Hibs. Poor defender by Celtic, but it was a cracking header. It was an absolute cracking header. I just want to know in the comments as well, because we were talking about the Champions League last night. Give us your prediction on point-wise, how we're going to get on the Champions League table. So, just to recap everyone, what opponents we have in the Champions League. Red Bull, so these are the home fixtures. Red Bull, Slavia and Bratislava, Club Brugge, and Young Boys. Sounds like a Europa League group, to be honest. Borussia Dortmund away. Zagreb away, Dinamo Zagreb. Atalanta away, and Aston Villa away. I'm confident we can go to Villa and do them. Villa are a serious team, but you never know. We'll bring a decent support down to Birmingham anyway. So yeah, I'm delighted for Mikey Johnson. I really am delighted for Mikey Johnson. At the end of the day, yeah, he had his chance in 2018 senior games and 93 games played for Celtic, 14 trophies. And I know some people might say, well, Keith, in and out of the team, very injury prone, blah, blah, blah. But he's moved on. We've made 3 million off an academy player, 11 to 13 points. We're definitely making playoffs. I hope so, Mark. Their Europa League is harder to win than our Champions League. Yeah, they've got some decent teams in there. Spurs, Man U, it's decent teams. But yeah, let's see what happens. 11 points, 10 points. I think 10 points could do it for us. We are favourites to go on and beat every team at home. Red Bull are going to be the hardest team to play against at home, but we'll see what happens. So Ronnie's saying, I remember the night we won the European Cup and the final in the San Siro in 1970 against Feyenoord. Great memories. Good stuff, Ronnie. Well, for some. Well, before me, anyway. Is it true that Mccowan from Dundee, that idiot I told you my man wouldn't get Trusty in? That's it. I call it sometimes. I don't always get it right, but Mccowan should be announced soon. Probably just last minute stuff, Obviously, it's SFA paperwork as well. Going from one team to another. So Peg Leg says we're gonna slap them into reality on Sunday. Hopefully. Yeah. People are saying they're gonna get pumped on Sunday. Everybody's thinking about Sunday already. Business done. Let's think about Sunday. Let's get that camouflage jersey on. Let's go to war on Sunday. But it never happened in history where imagine both teams wore away jerseys in Hampden or something for a cup final. Imagine that. It never happened. It will never happen. And I know what else will never happen. A Monday night derby or a Friday night derby under the lights. Imagine that. Jesus. Oof. It will never happen in football. Never happen. It's officially closed. Doors are closed now. All the 3 months of talking about Bernardo, Ida coming, Matt already gone to Atalanta or Brighton or AS Roma. It's been an absolute roller coaster for 3 months. And as I said in the channel, folks, 90% of the players we are going to be linked to it in the summer, they never come. But we have, as me making videos, I have to talk about these players, and that's the type of stuff you do. I love Robbo back. I love to see him back. Yeah, definitely. I think he will. I think, to be honest with you, he wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough himself. I just think the whole hype of, playing in front of 60,000 fans, the demand of, winning every week. And, being at the club for so long, you think you adapt to that. Look, Mikey has potential to go really well, do well in the championship and be maybe a top player in the championship. He played 20 games for West Brom last season. scored 7 goals. And look, all I can say is wish him the best down there. The goals he scored when he went on loan to them were absolute crackers. That goal against QPR, Loftus Road, that goal against Plymouth away, the goals against Huddersfield. I watched a few of the goals because obviously everybody was boasting about him playing well down there, you know. We'll get him in. We'll get him in. They can ask for permission for an extension, stuff like that. I don't know if that works with domestic transfers, but I know we usually see when clubs do it, when it comes to Europe, they ask for an extension. Sometimes they can get a 48-hour extension. So we'll see what happens. Let me read this one there, Anthony. You can get an extension at the deadline if the club can show the deal is nearly finished. Correct, Frank. Correct. On like a car bonnet he is. Well done to Franco. Tomorrow morning. Ivan Toney went for 40 million. But it's mad to think that's a great point. No, that is a great point. You're going back to 2020 and we could have had Toney. I think Toney was going for 3.5 billion at the time. And Peter Peterborough's chairman wanted to sell him to Celtic. And I think he scored that season for Peterborough to help them get promoted to the Championship. I think he scored in League One that season, 35 goals. Could be wrong, but we'll see what happens. Keith, do you know the financial awards from entry through the group stages? I think it was 750k. I think it is 5 million for a win. I think Hamish was talking about. We'll talk about it now, right? We'll look at it now. Good question. Champions League, right? Let's have a look. Don't want it in dollars. The national, right? Here we go. Let's see. I know the noise of that mouse is a nightmare. It's just that creaky. It sounds like paranormal activity or something, doesn't it? Right, let me see. So clubs can expect 1 million for reaching the knockout rounds of the Champions League, right? And then advance into the last 16, they can get up to 11 million, right? If you get to the quarterfinals, I'm going to show you this on the screen, right? Just to give you more of a perspective. It'll make more sense to you, right? Just give me 2 seconds now. People are asking about the Champions League. No harm asking about the Champions League. Let's have a look now. Giddy up now, baby. So here we go, right? How much Champions League prize money is on offer? Clubs can expect 1 million, which is £846,000, right? For reaching the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Now, that used to be, right? Back in the day, that used to be 30 million. Because of the way the pot is played, the pot's done now and there's more teams in it. It's completely vamped, right? So you get past the playoffs and you're into the last 16, you're getting £9.3 million. That's what you'd be getting, right? Then you get past that, we're smelling Munich, we're feeling it, we're into the last 8, we're absolutely bossing this Champions League, we're at the knocking Man City out, Real Madrid in the quarters, we're going to do them as well, we are. we win a quarter-final, and it's not 10.5 million. My God, tickets are being booked for Munich. It's going crazy. People are putting in annual leave already. It's March or April, and we're losing the plot in Glasgow. We're talking about winning big ears for the second time. Brendan Rodgers is going to be a saint. It's going to be Saint Brendo. And then you get to the semi-finals and you're getting £12.5 million. Now, we're into the Champions League final in Munich. You know, we're in the Allianz Arena. Over 120,000 Celtic fans have crowded Munich. And we're going to win this second European Cup. We're going to have 2 stars in the jersey. This is all cuckoo land, by the way, folks. And there you go. Nearly 16 million for getting there. So, yeah, these are the match days there, folks. Match day 1 is between the 17th to the 19th. So it can either be on the Tuesday, the Wednesday, or the Thursday. Then the Europa League will kick off in October, I think, as well, around that week. October 1st or 2nd. And then we play our final game on the 29th of January. 29th of January. Let's have a look now. Let's go down on this laptop. So That's on a Wednesday. So we'll have 2 more days of the transfer window after that to get players in, tricky players as well. So yeah, that's just the Champions League thing. That's me talking cuckoo land about going on to win it. Gotta be ambitious somehow, don't you? If this is Football Manager. Paper was submitted by 11 o'clock. Now, folks, I'm going to be jumping on in about 5 minutes' time. I'm going to have a couple of cans, chill out, listen to a couple of music tunes. But I have to say a massive thank you to everyone as well for tuning on tonight. I know I came on an hour later. I want to give a massive shout out to Richard Scott, buying the 99p membership. Shout out to Nori buying the membership tonight. Thank you very much, Nori boy, Carney in Lanzarote. Shout out to Dougie Murray for buying the membership as well. Go on, you good thing, Dougie Murray. Shout out to Shane O'Toole. Go up, you good thing, Shane. Ronnie McNarney and Feed the Bear is all legends. Everyone's legends in here, But they're Champions League. These are Europa League subs. These are Champions League subs because they bought the membership, folks. Only messing. I'm only messing. And he's a Champions League sub there as well, Reggie. I get what you mean, but I'm frustrated that how low they sell the 100%. This is what happens. This is what happens, folks. Oh, there's another one. David as well. He's a Champions League sub as well. Is he? No, he's not Champions League sub. I'm just clicking the wrong one. So yeah. Brendan, we trust. Great show tonight, Keith. I hope you had your microwave popcorn, your cigar, watching it. Did you, Ronnie? I hope you did. Look, a topic talker. I understand about Luke Mccowan. I understand your opinion on Luke Mccowan, and that's okay. That's okay. As I said, just let the guy put the Celtic shirt on, put himself on the pitch, and let him do the talking. If he doesn't do the talking, he's a flop. But I'm quite confident with a lot of fans tonight that we're getting a decent lad here that could maybe potentially be a vice captain the next year or two. So we'll see. Let's see. See what happens. Good show, good sportsman, good stories, true one. That's it. I like to listen to everyone talking on the channel. I know there's other podcasts that some people feel like they're numbers and they're just names. These are not. These are human beings behind a phone, behind a laptop, behind a tablet, behind a smart TV. You share the same emotions and love for this team, not my team, our team. So of course, if I can try to get your comments out, I'll try to get the comments out. Everyone on Facebook as well, be a legend. Get over to Come On The Hoop Celtic on YouTube. Just press that subscribe button. Bang, done and dusted. But I will be back tomorrow night for the podcast. I am feeling about 10 o'clock because it's going to be later in the night. A lot of people are going to feel like it's Christmas Eve because it's the first derby of the season. We're all going to get excited, and I want to get a ticket for this bleed derby so much. So if anyone has a ticket or knows someone that's not going to the game and, get on it. Yes. Other channels are charging $4.99 because you got to understand, right, folks? Ryan, Hamish, all these guys do it as a full-time job. I don't do this as a full-time job. The plan is to do it for a full-time job one day. This is why I moved to Glasgow. This is why one day I'll do the fan media. This is why I'll do it. I don't have the time these boys have. Like Tony Haggerty does a great job. Ryan McGinley does a great job. Hamish Carton, Ryan 118. All the podcasts. Axon, Celtic Unrestricted, the Celtic Supporters Podcast. There's so many podcasts out there. The Huddle Breakdown. I don't watch them all. But they all have one thing in common. To support the same cause. A lot of podcasts don't have the same rapport the way I do. Which is, we'll all have a laugh. But I just feel like certain podcasts are ready. They won't go past that hour to chat to you. It's very, and I just feel like, sometimes you have to have the banter. I was meant to be off this 11 minutes ago, but I'm still having a chat with you. As I said, these guys, you have to give the praise to lads. Give the praise to these podcasts because they're doing so much in the background. And I know these podcasts will have exclusive content for members. I'm going to put it out there right now. I have no plans to do exclusive content to subs or members only to the public. Everyone has to be on the same boat. Why should someone get extra treatment because they're paying extra 99 pence? That's you support me in a different way. Maybe down the line when I have more time and I can start putting pieces in place. But for the time being, everyone's on the same boat. And to everyone that's tuned in tonight and bought the membership for 99p, I really appreciate it, folks. Honestly, really appreciate it. Like that 7 membership, right? That's equivalent to a bag of cans there. Brendan, where's your bag of cans? You know, really appreciate it. Like that £7 could be put into getting a new roadie clip, one of them clip-on microphones. That's what it could be put in for. I got a set of microphones and I'm not working to the level I thought they were. So I'm gonna go out and splash the cash and get a decent microphone. So I can put my phone on, just flip my phone, do it like that, and chat to you. Bang, done and dusted. Look, I see it's dark green as well. All in it, all in, Buzz, all in. But yeah. Hail to the Celtic fans. How are you getting on, George? Hope you're well. Luke McCowan's a good Scottish player. Same numpties that have been slating McGinn. Give the lad a chance. 100%. I'm all in. You go back to 3 weeks ago, and I was in for Luke McCowan. I wasn't in for getting Lennon Miller in on a long-term deal because he's so young, still has a lot to develop. You know, good to see you doing well. You know, Awata's away. Look, I wish Tomoki Awata the very best. I know it's a loan move. I hope he does well in League One, smashes it up, and you know, St Andrews. Now, Birmingham are decent fans. I actually have a couple of friends who are Birmingham City fans. I went to school with, funny enough, from Ireland as well. And they always talk about, amazing hospitality in St Andrews, blah blah blah. They're doing the stadium up and all this stuff. But they didn't keep that guy. What was the guy? Instance, what was the manager they had at the start of last season? Then they ended up sacking him, and they were doing well during the playoff spots, and they ended up getting Rooney, and Rooney done nothing. Absolute sauce. Now Rooney came out and defended and said should have had a transfer window to have our own stance. I get that, Keith, but I can't pay for multiple channels. Too much for me personally. Exactly. I wouldn't like my entry fee for the membership will never be $4.99. Never in a million years. Never in a million years. I would never do that. You know, 99p is reasonable. As I said, it's me building the community. So when I see these names with this little logo beside, I'm like, jeez, there's Mark Scott. I wonder how Mark Scott's getting on tonight. I wonder if he's sitting there in his Celtic pajamas, smoking a spliff, watching the podcast. You know, just having a joke. You know, might be going on a spare now, Keith. Yeah, well, come on, the Hoops Celtic. You have to. These are the just below that there, Shane. There's the get in touch with me and any one of them, right? As I said, folks, George, what we're trying to do, I'm happy to give this away. If someone gets me a match ticket, I'm going to give them to the person that gets me a match ticket. You know, give it away. And if you do want to get this, it's on clubcrest.co.uk. I want to give a shout out as well to Football Mystery for the 2002 Ireland jersey. So I'm going to show that tomorrow night. I was going to do it tonight, but I've been so absorbed with this transfer window talking to you as well. Delighted with the business. Hope the newbies hit the ground running. I don't know who's that, buddy. I think we're selling Awata. Was it not a loan mill for Awata? Let me go on. Hold on a minute. I'd be a bit sad if we actually sold Awata. Hold on a minute. Permanent deal. I feel like Jamie Carragher when Klopp is when Brendan Rodgers gets a sack from Liverpool and the news comes in and Carragher's like that. That's what I feel like. Sweet mother of Jesus. Why? Tomoki was decent. But you know what? I'd rather Luke McCowan. I'm sorry, topic talker. Luke McCowan's in the gaff. What are you going to do? Do absolutely sauce. You're going to back him. When he scores goals, you're going to be like, oh, jeez, I shouldn't say that about him. And they'll say, no, I won't. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. No, it's a perm. I'll show you now, but show you about now, Joe. Joe, look at that. Up the Joe. Up there, Joe. Is that on it? Yeah, good. Yeah, good thing, Joe. There you go, Joe. There's Tomoki there in his blue and white of Birmingham. Confirmed. Birmingham City have signed Celtic midfielder Tomoki Iwata on a permanent deal. The Japanese international has penned a 3-year deal with the League One club. Fair play to you, Tomoki. Now, good stuff. Good stuff. And that voice was horrible, wasn't it? Pure creepy. Cringe. Probably gave you the ick or the boke. You know. That's it. So I'm going to jump off tonight, folks. I might do a short video later on before I go to bed later on. But thank you very much for all tuning in, folks. I will be back over tomorrow at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. So all I'm asking you is put the notification bell on the YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, you'll get a notification. And I'll be back for the Derby preview. We'll be talking about previous games. We'll be talking about the squad. We'll be talking about the buzz. We'll be hopefully trying to hustle to get a ticket for me for this playing game on Sunday. But thanks very much, folks. Everyone that's joined the membership, go me a Mccowan. Slán. Have a good one. Have a good one, Mark, with your spliff. Take care of yourselves.